We have a lot of rules in this house, as the kids would tell you. But, and I knew one thing. I knew I wanted to wait as long as possible before giving my kids a smartphone. I knew that much. We didn't have this data then, but I knew that. So that was in 2018 with my eldest son. So he was 14 when he got his phone. The second boy was close to 14. And then Uma, being the youngest, was more like 13. And honestly, since that time, it has been an uphill battle every day for the last 5 years or whatever it's been. And my kids have truly lived like a phone-based adolescence, as you described. Like conversations at home would be like, what are you guys doing? Are you on your phone? Have you done your homework? Are you doing your homework or are you on your phone? Have you checked in your phone? We had all those rules. But I think the important thing is with teens, when they get older, it is very hard to control things. They will find a way. Even as younger kids, they find a way. Anyway, so my concern is mainly with my daughter, Uma, who's here. But so she's 16 now and has had social media probably for the last year and a half. And what I've noticed with her is very different from the boys. The boys would always play video games. But with Uma, what I've noticed is in the last year or so, just a change in her attention and her focus. It's very subtle, probably hard to measure, but I think more in terms of school performance, test taking, exam taking, your focus during exams, being able to finish and complete tests and exams. All of these things I feel have really changed.
Did you hear Jonathan earlier, Mala, say that giving a girl social media at a young age is like giving them a gun, that it affects girls very differently than it affects boys? And you've read the book, so you understand that is true. So what you're experiencing in real time is actually a reflection of everything that Jonathan has done through his research. Right? You're now living it. Uma, let me ask you, how do you think it's affecting your mental health?
Yeah, I mean, I think my phone is it's super addictive. I feel like I'm on it all the time, I guess because of the dopamine hits. Sometimes I'll be on it and I feel like I can't get off, even though in my mind, like I know I need to. I feel like it takes away from so many things in my life that I could be doing, things that could make me smarter, like reading or doing my homework or studying, or even things that could make me healthier, like exercising or going outside more. So it's not even just my mental health, but also my physical well-being is impacted by my phone. And yeah, I agree with my mom. I think that it's impacted my focus. I think at school, especially, my concentration is worse. I think my attention span is shorter. And it can impact my sleep too, which then can impact because I'll be on it at night, or sometimes the light will interfere with like my ability to fall asleep. So just all these factors they're just super detrimental, and I'm observing it not only in myself but also in everybody around me, just as somebody who's grown up like with the evolution of the phones.
Yeah. So Uma, that's what you say is very, very perceptive, that it's not always about mental health and anxiety and depression. What you're seeing is actually the biggest effect of all, which is the shattering of the ability to attend to anything. These things are designed to interrupt you, to call you back on. They push you to connect to more people than you want to connect to. And they end up taking 5 hours a day on average. The American teenager spends 5 hours a day just on average. So a lot are spending a lot more than that. If you had 5 extra hours a day, do you think you could learn a foreign language or learn guitar pretty quickly in 5 hours a day for a year?
Definitely.
Do you think you could get into great shape? Do you think you could read all kinds of books? Do you think you could have all kinds of amazing hobbies? And of course you could. 5 hours a day is basically all of your time beyond what you have to do. And so your generation is trapped. Your attention is being sucked out of you, and it is making you less intelligent. What I mean by that is it's not literally lowering your IQ on an IQ test, but it's lowering your ability to perform in the world as if you were smart. So I teach a course at New York University called Flourishing. It's 35 students. They're all undergraduates, around 19 years old. And the goal of the course is to make them stronger, emotionally stronger, smarter, and more sociable. And in the smarter section, I say, we can raise your IQ, your functional IQ, by 15 points. First, regain control of your attention, turn off almost all notifications, move social media off your phone onto your computer, and then get rid of it entirely. If you regain your attention, you are going to perform in this world as if you are much smarter. And if you don't do that, if you give all your time to an interrupting device that's designed to hook you, it's as though you're going to live your life as though you are a much less intelligent person. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
That's fascinating, actually.
Yeah.
Well, that was our question to you, Dr. Haidt. That was our question. Is there evidence to suggest that social media use directly impacts intelligence and IQ as measured through school performance, or I don't know how, but that's what we were hoping to find out today.
Yeah. So what I can tell you, and as a doctor, you'll appreciate this, is that there's a lot of correlational evidence. There's not yet a lot of experimental evidence. So we can say that from elementary school on, the kids who are spending a lot of time on screens are doing worse academically, even after you correct for social class and all that stuff. So a lot of correlations. We can also say there's a correlation in that test scores in the United States were going up slowly from the 1970s through 2012. We were doing a little bit better job educating our kids. And then it turns around after 2012. Exactly when all the kids get on smartphones, social media, iPads, Chromebooks in school, exactly when everything gets screen-based, that's when education levels begin going down, not just in the US, but around the world. So we can say humanity is getting less intelligent since 2012, not since COVID, since 2012. I can't prove that it's because of smartphones and social media, but no one can come up with another story for why it started in 2012.
I don't know if you were watching in the beginning of this conversation, but what is going to happen to those 2-year-olds? 40% of people now with 2-year-olds, 40% of them, Jonathan was saying, a new survey shows, are on iPads at 2 years old. What's going to happen to, they're not even going to be able to function in first and second grade with their brains.
That's right. I'm hearing from more and more preschool teachers who say that kids are showing up with language delays, with they're not ready for school. A lot of them aren't potty trained yet. So an iPad is not a babysitter. We have used it as a babysitter because it seems to be effective. But you know what? Opium and alcohol would be effective too at calming your child. We shouldn't be using them. So yeah, it is. That's why we've got to change quickly. We don't have 5 years to change this. We have to change this year, 2025. We have to change the way we're raising kids. We have to give them back an exciting, fun childhood in the real world, not on a screen.